Ladies, I need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say, because this is something most people, especially us older women, simply aren't told. There are 5 very common meats we've been reheating for years, maybe even decades. But new research is showing that when these meats are reheated, especially the way we usually do it, they could actually increase our risk of cancer, dementia, and other age-related illnesses. Yes, really. So before you toss last night's dinner into the microwave, watch this video to the very end, because it might just change the way you eat forever. Oh, and if you're someone who loves leftovers, drop a comment below saying, "Leftovers are life." And don't forget to like and subscribe for more smart health tips just for us seniors. Let's begin. 1. Bacon, even if it's turkey bacon. Now, let me tell you a little story. Years ago, every Sunday morning, my husband would get up early, put the kettle on, and toss a few strips of bacon into the pan. That smell? It could wake the whole house. And we always made more than we could eat, wrapping the leftovers in foil for a quick reheat the next morning. But here's what nobody told us. Bacon is one of the most dangerous meats to reheat, especially for older women. Let's talk science for a second. Bacon is classified as a processed meat, which means it's cured, salted, and often smoked to preserve it. But during this curing process, chemicals like nitrates and nitrites are added to keep it looking pink and fresh. When you reheat bacon, especially in high heat like a frying pan or microwave, those nitrates can convert into something called nitrosamines. Now, nitrosamines are known carcinogens. That means they've been directly linked to several types of cancer, including stomach, colon, and pancreatic cancer, all of which disproportionately affect older adults. But wait, there's more. Bacon also contains high levels of saturated fat and AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These little villains are produced when fat and protein are cooked together at high temperatures, like when you fry bacon. And when you reheat it, even more AGEs are created. Why does that matter? Because AGEs have been shown to accelerate aging, increase inflammation, and even contribute to cognitive decline, including diseases like Alzheimer's. So if you're still hanging onto those last 2 slices from yesterday's breakfast, thinking you'll just pop them in the microwave for 20 seconds, stop right there. Enjoy bacon, occasionally if you must, but only freshly cooked. And consider switching it out with avocado toast, smoked salmon, or even tempeh strips now and then. 2. Hot dogs and processed sausages. Oh, honey, I know this one might hurt a bit, because whether you're at a picnic, ball game, or just whipping up something fast for the grandkids, hot dogs and sausages are the easiest comfort foods around. But these are among the worst offenders when it comes to reheated meats, and especially dangerous for women over 60. Let's start with what's in them. Most hot dogs and sausages are packed with preservatives, fillers, sodium, and a whole host of chemical stabilizers. That includes our old enemies, sodium nitrite and nitrate. Just like bacon, when these meats are reheated, particularly in the microwave, the heat causes a chemical reaction that forms nitrosamines. Studies show a strong link between these compounds, an increased risk of esophageal, gastric, and even bladder cancer. But that's not all. Processed meats like hot dogs are also linked to neurodegeneration. Yep, regular consumption, especially when reheated, has been associated with higher rates of Parkinson's and dementia. Some studies have even found that people who eat a lot of processed meats have more brain shrinkage in areas responsible for memory and mood. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I buy organic turkey dogs or nitrate-free sausages? Even then, the reheating process causes proteins and fats to break down in ways that can still form harmful compounds. And the high sodium alone, even in healthier versions, can lead to increased blood pressure, fluid retention, and heart problems, especially as we age. So what can you do instead? If you must have your sausage, try baking it fresh and only what you'll eat in one sitting. Or look for alternatives like chicken apple sausages, which tend to have fewer additives, but again, eat them fresh. And skip the microwave completely. 3. Rotisserie chicken, especially the store-bought kind. This one surprised me too. Rotisserie chicken seems like a healthy choice, doesn't it? It's lean, it's already cooked, and it's quick. I used to grab one every week from the grocery store, toss it in a salad, maybe save the legs for lunch the next day. But what I didn't know back then is that store-bought rotisserie chicken is often injected with preservatives, phosphates, and sodium-laden solutions to keep it moist and flavorful for days. And when you reheat it, especially in the microwave, those chemicals can break down and release toxic compounds into the meat. Let's break it down. Most rotisserie chickens are made with a technique called enhanced flavoring. This often involves pumping the bird with sodium phosphate, which helps retain moisture. Sounds harmless, right? But reheating it can cause phosphates to become unstable, which has been associated with kidney damage, bone loss, and cardiovascular disease, particularly in postmenopausal women. And then there's the skin. Oh, that delicious golden skin. But that's where most of the preservatives and fats are stored. Reheating the skin creates heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, both of which are known carcinogens. A study even showed that reheating poultry like rotisserie chicken at high temperatures increased the formation of these toxins by up to 300%. Let that sink in. And if that's not enough to concern you, let's talk bacteria. Improper storage or reheating of chicken can lead to listeria, salmonella, or Clostridium perfringens growth, all dangerous and sometimes deadly for older adults with weaker immune systems. So here's the solution. If you buy rotisserie chicken, only eat what you need fresh within a few hours. And if you absolutely must reheat it, remove the skin, use the oven, not the microwave, and heat it gently and evenly until it's piping hot throughout. For ground beef, especially in leftover casseroles or spaghetti. Now, this one caught me off guard, because let's be honest, what's more comforting than a warm plate of spaghetti bolognese or a hearty shepherd's pie? I've been making ground beef dishes for decades, and like many of us, I'd always make extra to enjoy the next day. It seemed like the smart, frugal thing to do. But here's what I didn't know. Reheating ground beef isn't as harmless as it looks, especially for women over 60. You see, when beef is minced and cooked, its fat content starts to break down. But when it's cooled and then reheated, that fat goes through a process called lipid oxidation, which creates unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals can do serious damage inside the body. They attack healthy cells, speed up aging, and increase the risk of diseases like vascular dementia, heart disease, and even certain cancers. And if the beef has been sitting in the fridge too long or stored improperly, harmful bacteria like Clostridium perfringens can multiply quickly. And here's the scary part. That bacteria can survive gentle reheating, especially in large casseroles or thick pasta sauces, where the center might not get hot enough. One spoonful of that underheated dish could send you to the hospital, or worse. Now, I know it's not easy to just give up leftovers, but if you're going to save ground beef meals, be smart about it. Divide the food into small, shallow containers so it cools quickly and reheats evenly. And when reheating, make sure it's steaming hot all the way through, not just warm on the edges. Better yet, try switching to lentil-based bolognese or mushroom mince. You'd be surprised how flavorful and filling those can be without the same oxidative risks. 5. Fried chicken. Now, let me tell you something about fried chicken. I grew up in a household where fried chicken was a big deal. Family gatherings, Sunday suppers, or just when you needed a little pick-me-up, crispy golden fried chicken always did the trick. But let me be clear, and I say this with love, reheated fried chicken is a health hazard for seniors. You see, when chicken is deep fried, it's usually cooked in oils like vegetable or canola oil, oils that already contain high levels of omega-6 fats. These fats aren't necessarily bad in small amounts, but when they're heated and then reheated, they break down into toxic compounds like aldehydes and acrylamides. These compounds have been linked to serious issues like nerve damage, inflammation, and even breast and pancreatic cancer. For older women, whose bodies may already be battling chronic inflammation or hormonal changes, those toxins are like fuel on a fire. But it gets worse. Reheating fried chicken, especially in a microwave, doesn't just make it soggy, it causes a chemical reaction that breaks down the crust's carbohydrates into harmful acrylamides, which are also carcinogenic. And studies suggest that these acrylamides may accumulate in the brain, potentially increasing the risk of Alzheimer's over time. There's also the cholesterol issue. Fried chicken reheated becomes even more oxidized, which means the cholesterol in the meat becomes sticky and more dangerous, contributing to clogged arteries, stroke, and heart attacks. And let's not forget food safety. Fried foods tend to be thick and uneven. That means it's easy to have a piece that's hot on the outside, but still lukewarm inside, perfect for bacteria to survive and multiply. So what's a woman to do? My advice, if you're craving fried chicken, enjoy a small fresh portion and toss the leftovers. Or better yet, try making a baked version using whole wheat breadcrumbs and olive oil spray. It'll still satisfy that crunch craving without wrecking your health.